Hello, everyone. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be with you today. Our presentation is going to be related to this discussion, very vivid today, about what is happening with polling, what's happening in the US elections. And we want to go beyond that. It's not just the polling. What about the qualitative research? What is the role of qualitative research? Supposedly, qualitative has been created to get a better understanding of the people beliefs, the people feelings, what really want, what are their desires. So this is our presentation for today, is what are we gonna do if polls and focus groups fail? Lost in understanding and when polls and focus groups fail. The marketing and communication industry, it's a world of action. Always acting, but acting not unlike thinking and reflecting. We live in the permanent innovation society. But as well, we need to stop and think. During the 21st century, we lived that scarcity, but at the same time, a real abundance of real conversation. But what happened in the 21st century? The real conversation is scarce and the data abundance is overwhelming. And that explains a lot of today's social polarization. This terrible polarization that we are living is also a pandemic and very unfortunate success. Now, we would like to talk about this. What is the role of the public opinion and market research to really solve this terrible problem of the polarization of our societies in all the world, not just in the US, not just in Mexico, not just in Brazil, all over the world? One of the main explanations regarding our industry is that we have a lot of measurement, but really a little understanding. We are not talking with each other. What do we have in the 20th century? We have lots of theory and really few data, little data. But now, in the 21st century, we have lots of data, but we are facing little social theory. From our point of view, the problem is not that the polling and the focus groups are failing. The main problem is that we are not adopting a postmodern epistemology. A postmodern epistemology that needs to be inclusive, dialogic, nonlinear, and kaleidoscopic. We need to go beyond the false dilemmas. It's not art versus science, it's art and science. It's not algorithms versus subjects, it's algorithms and subjects. It's not hermeneutics versus statistics, it's hermeneutics and statistics. It's not qual versus quant, it's qual and quant. And a lot of people is discussing now, what about the polling during the US elections? We are going to talk about what Nate Silver said, what another guru from the focus group, Frank Lund, said. But our experience is this. We have a main problem with the qualitative research, a great and big problem. That is that the focus group is the main technique. But the problem with the focus group is that it's in the middle of an idea of focusing, but not letting the group talk. And we believe that this time nowadays, the real thing that we need to encourage is real conversations. So we have developed a technique that is called an open group, and I'm going to talk about it now. Let's see what Nate Silver is saying about these problems with the surveys during the US elections. So we are probably going to wind up with a polling error of around 3 to 4 points, both nationally and the state level. Although that will reflect a combination of states like Georgia, where the polls were spot on, and others like Wisconsin, where there were big misses. This is, of course, a subject on which we'll have more to say in the coming days. For now, It's safe to say that pollsters will have some questions to answer, especially about how they miss in the same direction, underestimating Trump in some of the same states 2 elections in a row. This focus group guru is even more emphatic. He says, Frank Luce says, polling profession done after election misses, devastating to my industry. And we really want to talk about, not about surveys, not about polling, but we want to talk about qualitative methods. What are the role of qualitative methods in this history? From our point of view, the main problem is that the king or the queen methodology and technique within the reign of the qualitative methodology is the focus group. But what's the problem with the focus group? That is much more focus than group. That is more a bunch of interviews than a deep and real and in-depth conversation. That's why we have created a methodology that is called open group. An open group is a group of conversation. And these 2 words are key to understand what we do. Groups and conversations. Group, what is in a group? Group should be a common task, symmetry, equidistance, interaction, dynamic, engaged to the interior, close to the outside. A conversation is an open dialogue, openness, interaction, different point of view, discussion. And the role of the moderator is different, and the TV presenter or of MC, the essential task for him or her is creating a group and provoking and encouraging conversation. Creating a group and provoking an encouraging conversation. When you are doing a group session, anytime you must wonder and think, is it good to create a group? This is going to create the sense of a free environment, of a safe space. Is this good for conversation? We really want to have a real dialogue. We are really going to know the thoughts, beliefs, feelings, emotions of the people that they are participating. Doing open groups, it's a guarantee that we are going to have a very qualitative data, very quality data and quality first. So, but this is not the end. Then we need to implement powerful analysis and interpretation models. It's not just about to have a good conversation in a group. Now what we are going to do? We need to go deep and analyze the language and analyze the associations and really are able to get the insights that we are looking for. And it's easy to understand that the focus group is not looking for the group. Everyone that has been in some facilities, there are very few round tables. The round table is the metaphor, the real metaphor of a group where everyone is seated in the same place and nobody is above anyone. So think on a wedding banquet. The wedding banquet is this round table with these 10 chairs where everyone can be part of this conversation. As simple as that. If we don't have the round table to create equality conversations, we are not doing the first tone to have a real conversation. It's just an example, just to trigger the conversation. And to be a good analyst and interpreter of qualitative information, we need to understand that we human beings are complex. We are an evolutionary success. And why we are an evolutionary success? Because we are able to cooperate in large groups, to communicate with each other, and to believe in abstractions, in fantasies. We think in 3 interrelated ways. We react automatically. We relate with each other psychosocially. And at the end of the day, we see the world with moral values. Our beliefs, our thoughts are abstracts and are based on moral values. That says what is right and what is wrong. And at the end of the day, the thing that we want to share with you is that it's good to measure, it's good to know the what, but most important is to understand the why and to understand for what. What are we gonna do with this information to understand how to diminish the polarization, how to close the gap of confrontation, and how to create a better world if we are able to create group dynamics where people can face each other and talk to each other and understand everyone. Thank you very much. This is our presentation and we are ready to have a conversation with you. Thank you very much. So this is our provocation of today. It's not just the surveys that are failing, it's the qualitative research in the US and maybe in all over the world is not doing the best for this climate of dialogue and go against polarization. So we are ready to talk with you.